MSI, as well as what we've seen here at the start of LTA North Split 3. He's been on fire. Bot laners have been very impactful throughout pretty much every series we've seen so far in Split 3.
Yeah, I think Busio right now for sure is best support in the league. I mean, he did get All-Pro last time around as well. Let's take a look at this draft, though. We get right into it. The Gwen is available. The Talia is available. So these couple of power picks here. Oh, even Yunara has risen to
also available.
Yunara's risen to be a blue side first pick power pick. To me, this champion greatly excels if the enemy team is going to be more clumped up and like has a lot of melees.
Yeah.
But if you're first picking it, you obviously don't get to see how spread out, how many like ranged champions your opponent's going to have. But feels like, I guess Massu doesn't care, FlyQuest doesn't care. They think she's just that strong anyway.
I am half on the side of, yeah, they think she's that strong. Other half on the side if they really just wanted to make sure they got a stage game on Yunara. There's a little bit of disrespect. Possibly. Okay. Another champion, though, that we were talking about in last game, actually, when it was early picked, was the Trundle, and how the pillar buffs have really empowered that champion for its teamfight utility.
But it is that melee matchup, which you're talking about. Yunara likes the melee champions because you can always let them clump up, do the damage. Orianna, not exactly that. A little more combo ability there.
Definitely true. And the lock-in here of the Synergy, Rumble, and Wukong for FlyQuest. A lot of level 6 potential there. And they still have a lot of options as far as AP mid laners that they could pair with it. Of course, with Saint picking up the Orianna early on, that kind of dissuades them from doing some of the classic like Annie plus Wukong mid-jungle combo that you usually see, because Orianna is sometimes like a difficult lane. But people will just play it into it anyway, so we'll see as far as the extra bans that come through.
Yeah, you mentioned something about weak side top laners.
Yes,
what do you think about the ORnn?
I think it is a known decent pick into Rumble for what it's worth. I don't think this is anything like off meta or we're really going to weak side this guy. If you want to try and answer the Rumble, Galio and ORnn are two of the most popular answers. And the only thing I'd say is those three champions, big time scaling. That is all frontline. We're going 5v5 team fight and we're going late game.
Also, I think this comp does make it hard for the Yunara to move around at all. You know, pillar plus you have to keep track of the Orianna ball and the ORnn ultimate is always very difficult to avoid, unless they wanted to do a Braum on their team and like get the Unbreakable to block an ORnn ultimate or something. But I don't really see that angle coming through. So let's take a look here. The Bard ban, Busio Bard.
Get rid of it.
He's actually
gotta respect it.
Insane. So that is a very well-deserved respect ban. And there's the Annie I was talking about. That pairs so well with Wukong. Even if you have the Orianna matchup into it, they're like, you know what, that synergy is just too strong, we'll take it away.
And there's the Rakan ban from FlyQuest side. They have one more ban ahead of them because LYON also has not picked their support either. So they also get to take away something from Busio here on their next choice.
Yes, absolutely. Mid lane still to be picked by Quad. They're going to have to pick on the 4-5. So I'm a little curious to see if LYON tries to hold their support pick or power pick one right now with the support bans coming through already.
There we go.
The Neeko's just there. That would have been Busio's next best. The vision control is insane, and they already have enough tanks, so they can go with a little bit squishier of a support.
And now look at the team fight setup. Call the Forge God. They have the Shockwave. Neeko Pop Blossom as well. So many scary tools for anybody to get out of position, cut out of position, especially Wukong trying to engage into that. Like, that's usually going to be a one-way journey.
All right, so are they going to go some sort of Enchanter with the Yunara or something like the Rell? Because they did ban Alistar, and so that maybe signals more like Rell type action here, and you need a bit more CC, so expecting a CC here like Braum or Rell, if you wanted to do the Braum to like block some of the ORnn ultimate or like teamfight engage or something, maybe you go that direction. Rell is pretty good because you can suck them together with the Rell ultimate, which I think is one of the best things about Yunara is when things are close together, you just get to spray stuff with your Q. And so they do go that option. It does seem like a pretty powerful team fight themselves, even though LYON have so much CC on their team. There are multiple threats here on FlyQuest. They have 4 separate carries that could take over.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of the game, they might actually be trying to spread out LYON, since LYON is that scaling team composition. Kaisa is an interesting pick. I think one thing that we're going to learn more about Yunara as players get better at her is that 575 range. makes her a pretty strong laner if you're using that spacing just right. So he's going to be outranging the Kaisa in this matchup, even though they have a disparity with a melee support versus a range support. I'm really curious to see actually who ends up having the push in that lane.
Yeah, level 1, definitely, Yunara is super strong because Q is so good. But then like levels 2 and 3, you don't feel as great about your level ups because W and E definitely a lot weaker. So we'll see about the opening here. Inspired on the Wukong, we assume is going to be looking for full clears. So Trundle definitely has advantage early on.
Now, as he's in week 2 here for the squad, hoping to upset yet again, taking down FlyQuest, game number 1, and we're into it.
Yeah. For people that are wondering how LYON is playing up against FlyQuest, they got a little unlucky. They ran out of eligible opponents that they hadn't played before when they were in the pick and play phase last week, so they were left with selecting FlyQuest. I'm going to pay a lot of attention to the SrTT versus Bwipo matchup as well, because they have a nice relationship going back to when SrTT was on FlyQuest Academy. Going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, they've always been very complimentary of each other. You know, Bwipo even was like, hey, yeah, I kind of wish SrTT was our backup sub that I was coaching this, though.
Yeah, do you remember the whole horse versus lion that we had last week? Well, this is Lion trying to eat some lettuce. Yeah, you see FlyQuest is the leave. Doesn't like it. So far, FlyQuest is 1-0. No, FlyQuest is 1-0. Lion didn't want to eat that one. But they've only played each other one time this whole year. That's crazy to think about.
Which means, yeah, they've only played against one time the entire existence of the possibilities
in the north, yeah.
So one time, and it has gone FlyQuest's way. We'll see if the analysts are correct.
Rivalries start with one game, you know? They got to start somewhere here. We're going to build it up from this position.
Do they start with one game, or do you need more to build a rivalry, though?
Well, I mean, a marathon begins with a single step, Kobe.
Okay. That's the origins. You all look back. You'll remember that game.
To call back to the start of the day, as we do see a fight in the bot lane.
Really heal use. Hena's getting aggressive on Massu, but Busio is trying to play goalie right now. We're just trying to get some damage early on, but now the crash down from Busio means that damage is traded back in favor of FlyQuest currently, but Hena answers it right back. So just some health bar trades. Yeah,
Busio was trying to trade some of his health back for Hena, but they're still not going to get the level 2 first, so they're going to have to wait for that wave to crash. But to call back to the start of the day, Raz was talking about how he thinks LYON is the 3rd best team in the league, actually.
Ooh.
So they are against the unanimous 1st best team in the league pick, but it's definitely a call to SrTT coming in has helped them, and then they have shown glimpses throughout the year of being a really strong team. When Saint and Hena are on, and when Lyonz and Oddie have good synergy, they can make some noise.
And I mean, even the players respecting as SrTT getting that wave shot. Ooh, 2 turret shots is rough. Now that means Bwipo might actually get aggressive. If the Harpoon slow lands, it does. SrTT able to walk that one off, though. But the players giving respect to LYON as well. I caught Quad before the games, and he was talking about, yeah, Saint's a tough mid laner to go up against. Like, he gives a lot of respect to this guy, and it really shows that LYON have been on the cusp. They've had a couple of rough, you know, series, especially Split 2. They finished much lower than they wanted to, but the teams and the players do respect them.
Yeah, it's a team where people talk about their potential a lot. Yeah. A lot. Especially, you know, when they first joined the league. Up here, everyone's talking about, oh man, the communication problems are going to be so crazy with this team, with all the different languages that they speak, and when are we going to see the synergy come together for them? Top lane, though, I see a Trundle that has just finished full clearing up to top side, and Bwipo is pretty low up there, but so is SrTT. So both junglers just taking their crabs.
Bwipo's going to recall to avoid a dive situation. I also think it would have been a little too risky for Oddie to do it, but a good early laning phase, like first 3.5 minutes by SrTT, even though he took the 2 turret shots, stopped Bwipo from being able to freeze on him and has a nice 200 gold lead.
Yeah, very big for that ORnn pick into the Rumble. Very nice scaling on that one, but Bwipo feel it with his Dark Seal here. He's feeling the stacking. Gonna look for some kills, some skirmishes here when you get your level 6, when you look for some grub fight maybe. See if there's any sort of swaps that go on, though.
SrTT was able to deny a lot of the wave from Bwipo. When he backed off of that wave, he was very far back, and now down about a wave and a half over SrTT. So early game top side going pretty well for LYON, all things considered. You also wanted to focus on the bottom half of the map, Jab, because of what Hena was able to do last weekend versus Team Liquid. And we see he won player of the series, now up against Massu, the Wonder Kid, who has just been crushing this league kind of since he joined in. Very impressed with how Masu's grown over the year.
For sure. Massu is either obviously really good or quietly really good. Those are his two states of being. I'd say last week he was just quietly really good because Busio had all these Bard highlights, but if he has a good game here, it's kind of hard to not look really good on Yunara with how she can pop off late in team fights. So really looking forward to seeing what he can do on this new pick.
Now we see on the top side here again, SrTT now getting pushed in himself, but junglers will be passing towards the bottom half. I have to imagine Dragon is on the Rift now, and we see currently Inspired is down there. Oddie actually clearing out his top camp, so a short window where FlyQuest could look at that, as we actually had Hena. Oh no, it was Lyonz. Ah, the minimap got me.
The classic Neeko.
Yeah, Lyonz on the Neeko was hovering on the top half of the map for a moment.
Yeah, gonna come on back down here just in time as FlyQuest are going to push up the rest of the wave. Busio's taking position on the forward brush here though. Doesn't look like he's gonna lose any minions as it pushes forward.
Lyonz gets back down to lane now, so Hena played that very safe, very cautiously, saying, all right, I cannot walk up as Busio goes in. The aggressive on the Lyonz, misses the Shattering Strike, so Lion will just catch this next wave.
So it's important, though, that as he was coming down, Lyonz placed the control ward in this brush leading up to the Dragon, though. This is such a critical brush for any of these river fights towards the Dragon, and so Oddie has been able to rotate back over. The Trundle is here as well, and they can look to push them back. But Inspired went for a base.
Yeah.
And he's right back out here with some fresh items.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of tempo here to make plays on the map as the mid laners train ultimates and Inspired moves into river.
Okay, Arcane Storm goes down, Saint gets away, and now Busio trying to catch out Oddie, flashes the wall. As Inspired will now go around, Busio continuing the chase, Lyonz walking in, only level 4 on the Neeko. As the Gravity Well is buying some space here, but Busio has to flash to safety. Lion not going to pick up a kill.
It looked like a little bit of miscommunication there by Lion with the Orianna ult flying what looked to be post-flash over the wall from Oddie, but that was a nice pincer maneuver there by FlyQuest in the river, kind of expected to be able to burn the flash there, even though Oddie is the one that comes away with the crab.
Yeah, meanwhile, back on the bottom side, should just be able to catch that. Nice little dodges there from Massu, avoiding any extra damage from the Neeko as he tries to get back to his minion wave. So we just continue farming, boys.
Might as well. Inspired wants to hit that level 6 before they actually go for a full-on fight around any kind of objective. And Oddie actually hits it first, so we do have Subjugate available on Trundle right now.
What happens when both teams want to go late game?
Then
this game! We get this game!
You get strap in, then, everybody.
Yeah, when you're confident in your scaling. I will say, to me, kind of the coolest thing was how SrTT had started out this game, and there's a lot of minions up there right now for him to collect as well. So the ORnn having a really good time. We talked about it already, but SrTT getting this like second lease on life here on LYON back into the league has been nice to see. And of course, he's playing ORnn for the team. He'll be playing to scale and get those items. So Oddie is on the bomb side.
I don't think he was already. I don't know if he was spotted. They're going to try and get this wave in. Ooh, Lyonz taking a little bit of damage already. Oddie now committing in. Massu dodging out on the damage, but cannot dodge the autos. Hena picks up first blood.
Inspired is over the wall, though. Looking to
level
pick
6.
Up at least
Cyclone's
one.
available. This could clean up everything. Insta pops Oddie. Hena can't get out either. A double kill to Inspired.
Ooh, that's a good feeling as a jungler when the other team just kind of lines up and in the cycle of your full clear, you can pick up a double kill bottom lane. Inspired is off to the races.
He got right back to that camp. Now, Call of Forge got from SrTT, lands onto Bwipo, flashes away. Saint now walks all the way from mid lane. Bwipo's gonna have to try and trade something back. The shot lane, he gets it! Bwipo with the 1-for-1 trade!
And it gets them the third kill for their feats of warfare as well for them. So Robo, he knows I'm not getting out of this one after they both use their flashes, and he just turns and he's able to melt SrTT. He still gets the counter kill. Okay, so this one though, Massu, he uses his speed boost here to just outrange the snare. And that makes the dive take quite a bit longer here. And so Trundle gets very low. A turret shot here onto Hena as well gets him low. And so Inspired, as you say, Jad, he's coming in. He's like, juicy, juicy, juicy.
So
I can just clean up this dive. And a Wukong getting early gold like this is so insane for their team fight. Really funds that Trinity Force spike super early, which is going to be very, very big for the next like 5-10 minutes of the game. And then here's the burn.
Yeah, so close. One overheated auto attack is what ends up finishing it off. I'd say maybe SrTT got a little ambitious with that flash follow for auto. I think Saint could have probably finished the kill too and avoided some damage. So big, small outplay there by Bwipo, but big in terms of the overall state of the game.
Okay, I see Kobe reacts to the coach cam right there. Also, it's Bwipo with first strike, not something like the Conqueror. So that's even more gold in his pocket now. Off to a good start, all things considered. Oddie Lando, as we get into live, is on the Dragon. It's going to be the first Dragon picked up. The 3 grubs were picked up by FlyQuest, so a trade of the objectives across the rift.
Okay, Dragon stacking going nicely for them, but my eyeball is still on this Trinity Force. So remember those 2 kills, the spike for Wukong, it's really nice and early, and he's got Flash and Ultimate. When you're an early spiking Trinity Force Wukong with those 2 tools, you definitely want to use them. Currently, he's being very efficient. He wants to finish up his camps here, but then I do expect him to go for some sort of play. I mean, Oddie Land's Trundle Flash will come back up fairly soon, so it's not like anyone's going to be without Flash that's super vulnerable, except for the ORnn, and he's very tanky. But we'll definitely see Inspired try and use that little boost.
There's a chance he just goes for ORnn because it's the lowest hanging fruit, but they're going for Saint here.
Yeah, has Flash available, but and uses the Shockwave defensively. Saves the Summoner spell. Great usage there.
Yeah, really good. Down at the bottom lane, Inspired walks over the ward. We might be seeing an all-in here. SrTT's trying to run away.
SrTT is able to get back towards the safety of the turret, and Inspired with that item, you know, big power spike, was looking for his first play after that. Teleport topside now as Lyonz and Oddie Land are hanging around. Busio spots Oddie Land walking in because of the deep ward, but Saint's just running straight at quad. No shockwave, but command attack. Command dissonance should have it. That's flash out of quad. Turret will not kill Saint, but not too shabby. Lyonz mid laner just shows up and forces out another summoner spell.
Yeah, nice punishment there. Able to get a critical one. Rod of Age is finished, so it's going to start stacking now, but teleporting right back to try and push the other way. Looks like Inspired actually is going to traverse his way all the way up to the top side of the map as well. So maybe they want to make some sort of play on the next wave that is coming towards top. He is going to be at least able to grab the Scuttle Crab.
They're really trying to put a lot of attention into Saint here, but he was able to repel that first gank with his ultimate, gets Quad's flash, also does a good job delaying these recalls. So Saint really creating a lot of tempo for LYON right now, who's still staying in this game against FlyQuest 12 minutes in.
End of the day, though, Quad does TP back into lane and has a bit of a freeze topside. We'll see if he tries to break that because Saint doesn't have the teleport anymore. Yes, Saint forced that flash out, but he took a lot of damage. Now he has to back go bot side here. So the wave will get shoved in top. And FlyQuest currently with a 1.5 thousand gold lead and racing towards the feats of strength. They already have the first 3 kills for feats of warfare. They got one of the neutral objectives. Either getting that turret or 2 more neutral objectives will get them there.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have Massu going the pretty standard Kraken Slayer into regular crit Yunara build. Not the start on Blade of the Ruin King Yunara build. Those kind of have been the 2 most popular ones. And we'll see. This one with the Kraken procs definitely can feel very good as well, especially on the squishier, juicier targets. Going to be able to spam push this mid wave. They've got plenty of vision leading up to the top side as well, so allowing Quad to push in his ORnn matchup on the top side for FlyQuest and getting a couple lanes of priority.
Yeah, I would say the Kraken build here, not going Blade of the Ruin King, potentially because there's not that much poke online, so he might not want that extra sustain from the Blade of the Ruin King build, but I think both choices are pretty strong. And it's just going to be a game-by-game preference thing that we see until they make changes to Yunara. We might not see a fight until the next Drake, unless we have somebody overextend and press their advantage a bit too hard.
Yeah, so far FlyQuest are not looking for it right there. That's partly, though, to the Yunara point of the different builds we've seen, the different supports you pair with it. Why I love it when a new champion like Yunara comes out into pro play is we get to see how each individual pro, each individual team chooses to play around it. Right now, Massu with that one item power spike is just holding the mid wave, while FlyQuest with a minute until this dragon spawns can get some time to set it up.
And we see Busio just hovering in Fog of War, just waiting. If anyone goes after Massu, he's here for the counter. Just trying to remain in Fog of War outside of vision for as long as possible. Of course, now moving in to retake this vision, and shouldn't be too much here, but trying to fight over this control ward.
Broke his shield, fighting the control ward.
Got him.
Got him. He's remounted.
That's the nerfed shield too. Crashing into the.
I mean, the advantage is all in top jungle right now for FlyQuest. They're just kind of living off of that double kill, and the kill back that Bwipo got has allowed him to just get Leandries, and he's been freezing a lot of waves and then pushing at the right time to keep his gold up. And I think they're just going to try and keep playing this slow game until they're willing to contest an objective. I'm not even sure if FlyQuest is going to be going for the next fight with like Rift Herald and Drake are spawning around the same time, so we might just end up trading objectives here.
Yeah, I mean, Inspired went for a reset there. He was spotted trying to reset, stopped, and went further back, and he's passing towards that Herald right now, so it does appear currently LYON will get this second dragon. FlyQuest will just continue stacking the top half of the objectives. They like the purple ones.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing about FlyQuest, it's that they always have a clear idea of how they think they can best win the game.
Yeah.
So what it looks to be like in this one is they're saying, we're going to be able to get such a big gold lead that by the time 3rd or 4th Drake comes up, we'll smash them.
If Bwipo dies, that might throw a wrench in that plan, though. Ultimate's used by LYON. Bwipo's trying to get away. Lyonz can chase him down. Angle Barb could be it. One more auto. Oh, Bwipo gets the shield back, though. Flash from Lyonz to guarantee the kill. And LYON with the pickup on the bottom side. FlyQuest now pouncing top half of the map. SrTT's gonna have to try and get out of here. Shattering Strike used by Busio, buffered by SrTT, and he's out, but the turret will fall. FlyQuest get more gold in their pocket.
Yeah, ORnn quite a bit tankier on that weak side, so SrTT gonna be fine walking it out. He's still be able to collect the wave, and both of the towers are evened up, but FlyQuest got theirs first, so they got their boots upgrade.
Yeah, potentially that was another factor of trying to go for the Rift Herald, is that they could probably get that top turret first. You could see Inspired, rather than chasing the kill, just decided to clone on the turret, double Q the turret, and just make sure he bursts it down as fast as possible. So he increases his individual advantage, even though LYON does have a nice start towards Soul with the 2 Drakes.
One of the things I love to watch when FlyQuest plays League of Legends is what the shot call is. Because yes, you can go onto SrTT, but instead you can just get that turret while the bot turret was almost falling. They win that race. That ability to pivot in the moment is incredible here. We see Quad versus Saint, though we already talked about that mid lane matchup earlier. Currently, Saint with a slight advantage. You know, we can give him that right there. A little bit more gold difference at 14. And Quad, again, was giving him a lot of respect before the match, saying, yes, Saint does give you a lot of difficulty when you are laning against him in that 1v1.
Yeah, Saint's got, or Quad has some good CS for himself, though, and his Rod of Ages is building up. So looking towards the level extra power spike at 10 stacks, and looking for his 2-item power spike here for the Viktor. Meanwhile, LYON doing their best to take over vision leading up to that lane that both mid laners are currently in, up in the top side of the map, and going for a little jungle invade on this blue buff.
Inspired and Busio are here. Now Inspired pushed out of the brush. Massu hanging around. FlyQuest might actually defend this. Oddie just runs forward, chomp down onto Busio, trying to get the damage in Frozen Domain, but Inspired smites it away, takes his own camp, says, get out of here.
Yeah, nice job. They drop a control ward in the brush to make sure there's no vision in there, and then pull the blue buff into that brush.
Now we see Quad all alone topside, though, because everybody was so focused on the buff. Quad alone means that LYON can pick him up, give the kill over to Saint. 2 in his pocket. LYON pounce and get a kill topside.
Saint pretty happy about that one. Nice coordinated play, but now this is the counterplay by FlyQuest trying to get the mid turret. They don't get the kill, but they will be able to get the turret and are trading up a bit in map pressure.
Charge.
Inspired is the second charger.
Oddie is here, smites it away, and now Cyclone. He has to flash, exhaust use, but Busio trying to get out of there. Now LYON's on the flank. Busio very slow right now as he's looking for the remount. Call the Forge God now. SrTT looking for the engage. Oh, misses on Busio, but didn't need it. They still get the kill, and Hena was set up because of it. Gets onto Massu. LYON find 2 in the mid lane, looking for more. Inspired trying to use the healing from the Scuttle Crab to get out of there, but the pillar blocks his path. LYON are making FlyQuest sweat as Inspired is desperately limping away, has to flash, does escape, but what a play from LYON.
And specifically SrTT, that roam over. I mean, he started out the game so well on the ORnn, keeps his money up, and then this roam over with the ultimate, he snipes Massu. Yep. He looks right at him, gets the knockup. That allows Hena to ult on in there. and they collect so many kills, getting that gold lead chopped down a bit. Of course, FlyQuest still have 2,000 gold lead, but remember, LYON had been stacking the dragons as well, so some money on kills there is very nice for them.
This game's in a really precarious spot. If LYON can get another team fight like that before the next Drake, they could pull into the lead. The impressive thing to me about the roam there is it's so hard to be first to a fight when your lane is shoved in, because if that play doesn't work, you are even more in the dirt. So we're watching this one more time. I think Inspired got a little carried away going for this, because as they approach, they are flanked by the Neeko, which at least delays their retreat. And then we see SrTT fly in from the back here. Now, was he actually aiming for Massu?
Yes, you tell me.
100%. Yeah, I mean,
100% he is.
Ooh, beautiful. Because Busio has to sidestep to dodge, and then, like you said, Kobe, it sets up Hena. CC landed. You can throw out the ultimate, chase him down. And yes, Inspired does get away in the extended play, but this is gold in the pocket of the carries of LYON.
Yeah, and of course, we should mention, because you see on the minimap the whole time, Bwipo continues pushing.
He just got another wave.
Bwipo did not like come, oh, you know, I'm going to come answer this roam, right? Bwipo is like, fine. He roams, I'm going to push down the bottom tower. So he got that whole bottom tower plus the minion waves during it. So that's why FlyQuest still kind of kept up their gold themselves.
Bwipo always a top laner to get gold in his pocket. You can see SrTT down here, though, just how different he looks. The laning phase versus Bwipo, pretty solid. Now much better than he was on Dig, but Dragon set up.
Yeah, all ults up for LYON. I think they're going to look to turn.
All right, Inspired's in the pit right now. SrTT's trying to hold the line right now. Call the Forge God has been pulled. He's got to get out of the garage pretty well. And now the Pop Blossom engage. Massu's got to get out of there as the Cyclone from Inspired re-engages for FlyQuest, shutting down LYON's approach. Bwipo on the flank gets flash out of Hena, flash out of Saint. The carries are out of there. FlyQuest absorb the play and get the dragon.
When FlyQuest was giving up the first Drake, when FlyQuest was giving up the second Drake, they had this fight in mind. They're saying, you know what? When we hit this spike, we are going to end LYON. I'd say they dodged the initial engage so well and turned at exactly the right time. Notice how well and how patiently FlyQuest held their ultimates when we see this replay. I think they get the Oddicon off this as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have their 2-item power spikes on their solo lanes. That's what they're looking for. And specifically, Bwipo here has the Bloodletter's Curse, the magic shred. So let's take another look at the origins of the fight. They do go for Massu, and you see ORnn ultimate plus the Neeko kind of overlap their knockup.
Oh, it's huge, though.
And then he's fine. But look at that grouping. And the Rumble does a lot of damage. Inspired does a lot of damage on the chase down. And they instantly are able to push them all back. And then, of course, claim the dragon for themselves afterwards. So nicely done there from FlyQuest. Yeah, giant grin.
So that's a pretty good. Our
Wukong,
Viktor didn't get
easy.
hit by any of the CC. Oh, Rumble was keeping Orianna out of the fight. Yeah, that was a good setup from Fly.
Yeah, Bwipo with his 2,000 gold lead. He gets to upgrade his boots as well. So for the extra magic penetration, that plus the Bloodletter's Curse here, doing a lot of work.
24 of the petals. Adding that 4,000 gold lead into probably more of a 6,000 or 7,000 gold lead. So they're actually widely in the advantage right now. Quad very tanky at this point in the game with his build. So they've really been patient, been scaling, and are in a comfortable spot in the game right now. I think for LYON, they're just going to start overloading and trying to force fights.
Yeah, grouped up in the mid lane right here. All members to take the turret. They're losing their bot wave. Their top wave's getting pushed in as well. So this is just a concerted effort to say, we got to get gold somewhere. We got to start opening up the map where we can.
One thing that went wrong for LYON in that fight is they never got a good angle for Saint Shockwave. So even though that fight was totally one-sided for FlyQuest, the combo wasn't ideal for LYON. So they still have a wombo combo in them if they can find the right window to do it.
And FlyQuest are just doing the exact same thing. Say, all right, you want to group up? We'll group up. We got a 4,500 gold lead right now. We can actually win this Shockwave onto Busio right there. Pulled back. Oddie now has to use the subjugate flash to get to safety. SrTT cannot find the flank because Bwipo is just soloing him. Flash out from SrTT. As now the Call to Forge God used, they have the killer instinct, so Bwipo has to flash it, not giving Hena the option into the fight.
Exactly. The team was coming over to join SrTT on the side lane. So flash for flash there. between Bwipo and SrTT. And I also want to mention, like, that was a pretty good Trundle pillar from Oddie on Busio to try and trap him under tower. But in the end, that was also still just a flash for flash. And guess what? In the end, Rell runs Hex Flash. So it actually was detrimental for them because then Oddie had to flash out too. But we'll see if LYON are able to mount any sort of miracle comeback for themselves. You can say, well, at least ORnn is like upgrading items now. Yeah. And they can look for their like dream wombo combo onto somebody. You know, sometimes you can pick off people in side lanes when you're running ORnn plus Kaisa, the long range CC, and like Kaisa can join fights. So maybe people can get sneaky or something with vision and make a side lane play.
For sure. And I apologize to FlyQuest fans in advance if this is a caster curse, but I'd also say teams that are willing to forego early Drakes, it's usually a mark of a good team because they are confident that they do not need Soul in order to end the game. And I feel like that's what FlyQuest is going to try to show us here because by getting about a 2,000 gold lead by sacrificing the first 2 Drakes, they then won the big fight, turned it into Oddicon, and now it's like, now they say their lead is big enough to force Baron. They force Baron successfully. That's powerful enough to let them end the game without the Dragon Soul win condition.
I will say, if you're trying to caster curse a team, FlyQuest is like the most resistant to caster curse.
They're burning incense, they got sticks, they got crystals, all the things. Bwipo, just absorbs a shockwave and walks away just fine. Has teleport as well. As Inspired is hovering, Busio 2. Line up multiple members on the top half of the map. The Baron is on the table now, and that's a teleport coming in here.
Inspired would love to find the right angle. They can't really all in until the Trundle ult has been burned because if one guy goes in too quick, there is a quick one-shot angle that LYON has, so FlyQuest still have to play on the edges here.
LYON using SrTT's teleport to come over, but FlyQuest hold on to Bwipo's.
And now LYON are in an interesting position here. Massu actually on the flank, just approaching Oddie. Flash pop blossom, but Massu gets away. Lyonz thought he could find the enemy AD carry and just gets punished for the attempt.
That was so smooth from Massu right there. That was
Didn't even flash.
Smooth. Cleanse, pretty buttery smooth, and they're gonna just burn down this Baron. Let's see, Oddie doesn't have flash, so skills are really hard.
Shockwave's coming up soon, but there's just not many tools for LYON right now as FlyQuest have Busio to hold the line. They get the Baron. LYON now have to retreat. FlyQuest with a 7,000 gold lead at 26 minutes.
So controlled. I mean, they're just going to walk this straight through mid lane, push the wave in, start the next Drake as well to make sure LYON stays off soul point. Bwipo maximizing experience, pushing the top wave, can teleport down whenever he needs. They're in full control.
Busio, the pillar to save Saint's life. Busio was trying to slow him down, but all alone. He's good. He's out of there. Bwipo, meanwhile, in the top half of the map is pushing in a turret with that Baron buff while the team is on the Dragon. Lyonz and Hena are here. We have Killer Instinct available, but they need to land some kind of CC, and Lyonz so far has not hit it. Nope. Tangle Barb is a nice little route, but Bwipo walks away. Yeah, minor danger there by Bwipo. If they had landed all CC perfectly, they might have been able to kill him. Although with level 16 and all those Magic Fin items, he might have just turned on to Kaisa if he flew in anyway. So FlyQuest in big control right now. And I got to go back to a point that you had mentioned earlier, Jad. Just FlyQuest's patience, not forcing early dragons, accepting their win conditions. There's layers to League of Legends and how to actually win games. Some teams are focused on how do we set up the objective? How do we make sure we win these fights? FlyQuest is a team, they've been together for so long. They're at the point of how do we play the game as clean as possible and win games as consistently as possible? And their setup for that fight was so good, especially Busio. You know, Busio getting into the angle to get the Rell engaged, kind of group them up so they could actually win that fight and make the game look as smooth and easy as it does look now for FlyQuest, because now very easy on their reset, just bring their extra vision right back out, invade the jungle, take away more resources, push in 2 lanes at once, mid and top lane currently, while both Inspired and Busio kind of flexing here between the jungle. Ready to go to either side. Saint's all the way bot side right now, shoving a deep wave while the rest of LYON are trying to hold the line here. FlyQuest with their banner-powered minions, though, will always be able to outpush. So Saint now backing, coming back to the fountain. But that inhibitor turret has already fallen, and FlyQuest are just going to throw their wallets around and say, LYON, you have to do something if you want your base to survive. First inhib will fall, pillar invested on the Massu, but Oddie gets exhausted, has to walk away. Now FlyQuest looking at this middle inhibitor here as they're letting the minions do most of the work for now. Call the Forge God, this is the big go button for LYON. SrTT only lands it onto 1, but Busio with the counter engage. Now LYON's pop blossom onto 3, but it's only the front line. The damage dealers were not threatened. Shockwave almost turns it on to Busio, but Lion just cannot kill him. Hena throws himself into the backline, hoping for a miracle. Nothing to be found. FlyQuest cleanly executed. No panic whatsoever. They will crush Lion with a 12,000 gold lead in game number 1.
It's another day in the office for FlyQuest as they remain undefeated in Split 3. The first pick Yunara does pay off. Massu looked very clean in that game. Are you even surprised, Lounge?
No.
FlyQuest looking good.
I mean, Raz is the only one that had Lion taking a game.
I still have a chance.
Yeah, you do. You do. I mean, I think we did see.
We have one more game.
Let
Someone can break a hand.
Right, we do have one more game.
Yeah, we got one more game.
Let him say he has a chance.
Which means you don't have a chance.
Oh no, why not just walk into that? We have 2 more games, guys. We have 2 more.
You spoke the 2-0 into existence.
Yeah, I did. It was not great.
They just looked at me. Kind of. I got Neeko no flash. Neeko no flash. Neeko no flash. I'm just hitting guard. Take it slow. Take it slow. Help him. Help him. I'm fine. Kaisa. Orianna no flash here. Okay. It could have been Penta. I speed it. Nice. Dizzy. My bad this game. I'll play him.